for the introduction, Res. And yeah, welcome also to the rest of you to the Dynamics 365 Bootcamp on customer engagement or customer experience. And we're very happy to be here all the way from Vienna today, both of us. And my name is Norina. I'm actually business technology evangelist at Docs42. And yeah, I'm very lucky that I'm not alone, but my colleague Fabian, who is actually an expert on Dynamics 365 integrations, is also here with me. Hi, Fabian.
Hi, everyone. I'm Fabian. As said, I'm Senior Technical Evangelist at Docs42, and I'm responsible for our customers. I'm doing sales. I'm even doing some sessions like these. I'm doing also support. I'm also with partners. We are kind of key account manager. So during my time at Docs42, I gained a lot of experience regarding document automation, and I'm very happy to share my knowledge today with you. And the most important thing that I have learned during my time at Docs42 is there are a lot of great tools to automate your business processes. So basically, you can, even with Power Automate and Flow and any other workflow tool, you can automate the entire business process. But at the end of any business process, there's always, as a result, a document. And most of the time, the document will be forgotten. And in this session, we would like to show you how you can easily automate also all your documents, even integrate them into your business process. So we would like to show you the options that you have with Docs42 when it comes to document automation in D365. And I'm doing a lot of demos later on, and I have a customer real-life scenario more or less, and I'm really looking forward to demo it later on to you. But before we start, there is one more thing. We would like to reveal a little secret, and basically we are loving the Power community.
Little technical problem. Sorry.
So then maybe, should I share my screen that you understand why we love it?
Yes.
So let's do it secondly. I share quickly my screen, then you understand why we love the community. So let me open.
Oh, wait.
It's working now?
Yeah.
Perfect. So basically, let's share. Yeah, now I have shared my screen, and Rina, I hope it's okay. So I just gave over the word to you. Do you see something?
Yeah, I see it.
Perfect.
And what Fabian was saying, we really love the Power community. And we've been at very many events in the past when they were still in live action, but also online. And there's actually one thing that we almost always do, and you can see it there. We have really cool Lego sets, and usually the most popular ones are the Star Wars Lego sets. So we hope you're ready, because we actually brought one for you today as well. And how can you win it? Actually, you just scan the QR code here, and then you will be directed to a quiz. And we have prepared some very hard questions for you. So you have to stay in the session and listen to us. And then you can actually answer the questions. And after the event, we will pick a lucky winner to win this cool Luke Skywalker helmet.
Right. Yeah, good luck to everyone. And yeah, stay focused.
All right, but now on to the session. What we have prepared for you today is actually Fabian is going to talk about the challenges in document automation and what document automation basically is about. Like Fabian already mentioned, at the end of a business process, there's always a document, and we want to show you how it's easily integrated into your business processes to create those documents automatically. We're going to talk a little bit about Docs42, us as a company. And the most important thing is we're going to do lots of live demos. So we're going to jump into CE right away and show you sales quotes with all kinds of images and graphs. We're going to do a sales proposal in a PowerPoint format. And we're also going to show our Power Automate integration. And as already touched upon, we have actually the design in Microsoft Word and excellent PowerPoint. So we're going to show you how that's actually done. And if we have some time left in the end, we'll also show you our Power Apps and SharePoint integration. And of course, in the end, we'll have plenty of time to answer your questions. You can also put them in the chat. We'll be happy to answer them. Great. But now, first of all, we would like to know if you already know Docs42. And yeah, for that, we've also created a short Microsoft form. So if you open that up, you should be able to actually say if you already know us, if you're a happy customer or a partner. And that way we kind of get a feeling how we're going to talk to you about Docs42.
Exactly.
So,
and Norina, you can share your screen one more time again. I posted the link to the chat, so you can even click the link, the audience, and just play around, because we have a second question as well. So that's the first one to try, and that helps us a little bit to understand our audience a little bit better. So that looks
perfect. So you know us from the Power community, very good. But also some people who don't know Docs42 yet. Okay, great.
Which is great. That's why we're here.
So you can learn a lot today.
Interesting ratio, so half-half, more or less.
More or less.
Okay, great. So that was just the warm-up. We have a second question, which is definitely more interesting. And then at the end, you can scan again the barcode for the raffle for the Star Wars helmet. Good, then I would just continue a little bit with the Docs42. Thank you, Norina, with Docs42 and what we mean about document automation. So let me just move on here a bit. Basically, what we have is just a second. So now I'm good. Document automation, what does we mean? So basically, whenever you have structured data, you can automate all your documents. And the good news first, you have structured data when you're in the Power community. So I assume you're working at least with one of these tools or apps or CRM or even ERP systems. You see, even Excel provides structured data. So all the data can be taken from Docs42 and can be generated to a document. And that's good news first. So what kind of documents are we talking about? Especially documents that has to look good, documents in the hands of customers, such as quotes, invoices, more or less order confirmations. You see it here, you need images, even train or travel tickets, even PowerPoints, of course, like investment proposals. We have a customer scenario exactly doing this with super yachts, more or less. Then you can generate sales reports. So all these kind of documents can be generated very easily with Docs42, as the designing happens in Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. So you have all the design tools with you. Before we go into details, I would like to show you how it really works in business life, in my opinion, when somebody generates a document. And there is copy-paste, which is good way to generate very few documents. It's a flexible way, it's individual, but the problem is, and I did it as well, I used to work in HR, so I had to create all the employee contracts manually by copy pasting. And the problem is you're doing errors. It's a very cumbersome work to do, and you're definitely very slow. And if you generate 100 quotes a month with copy paste, you will see that's not the good way to do it. That's the reason why some of the company, they build some apps, VBAs, and they have the first level of automation, which is also good because you have automation and an error reduction. But at the end, you cannot generate a lot of documents. It's client side and you cannot adapt it. If the guy who builds all the macros and VBAs then leaves the company, you cannot adapt it anymore. So that's also not the best way to do and to generate documents. And then at the end, what do you have? We have server-side automation with the standard SSRS, or in Business Central RDRC Designer. You have performance, which is good, but at the end, the document, the flexibility is gone. You have to program everything, and basically it's programmed by IT. Documents are not looking very well. It's not the best way, and it's not a good approach to document generation. So let me show you our approach to it. So we basically, when it comes to document automation, you're working with these three departments most of the time. Marketing, responsible for corporate identity; business, responsible for the content of the documents; and then you have IT, which they should provide more or less the data. And in our approach, all the three departments can work the document at the same time all together, because the designing happens in Microsoft Office with no code. IT provides the data sources, business the content, and marketing can easily adapt something when it comes to CI questions. So in our approach, it's definitely easier. It's a flexible way and a very powerful way to generate documents, and that you will see in the live demo. But first, we have one slide about Docs42, just to give you an overview of who we are and where we are. And Norina already mentioned it. We are sitting in Vienna. Our headquarters is also in Vienna. It's a beautiful city, actually. And we are working with a broad partner network, as we are just a sheer software developer. So we are providing and guaranteeing that our software is working, and our partners most of the time are implementing Docs42. So if you're working for an IT department, an IT partner, and you can also, of course, contact us. And we have a lot of customers. You see some of our reference customers below, and you might know some of them. At the end, we have two slides to show you a specific scenario. But first of all, our USP is template design of all your documents in Microsoft Office with no code, flexible data integration, and of course, flexible document output actions with our services, cloud service, or even on-premise services. Well, and that's one of the customer scenario I was talking about. I've selected Fraser Yachts because they are generating PowerPoint and PDF documents for sales. So we are here in the customer experience summit. So I guess it fits very well. High quality documents. So Fraser is chartering these huge super yachts to their customers, so they need high quality documents. They need their corporate design, so they designed a PowerPoint and a Word, created and connected to the data sources, and from sales, for sales, they are generating the documents. And I will show you kind of a similar scenario later on. And another scenario, of course, is the ABB turbochargers. So they are building and creating a manufacturing scenario, building huge turbochargers for huge ships, container ships, and also other huge machines. And whenever there has to be done a service, the service workforce, they are taking pictures, loading them up to CRM, for example, and then also the service reports, over 100 pages, can be generated easily with just one click with Docs42. So now we have seen a lot about Docs42 and some what we are doing, but now the question is, how does it look like? How does the template design looks more or less in general, Norina?
Exactly, and for that I'll try to share my screen again. Let's see if it works. We're kind of in the middle of a heat wave, so my computer is also kind of slow, but let's check. So like Fabian said, you heard a lot about Docs42, but how does the template design actually happen? It happens in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and where you can see here on the left is actually a Docs42 template with the placeholders. So you actually drag and drop those data fields into the document, and when you generate them, they become the document you see on the right. So in this example, for example, a sales report with data from, it could be Teams or it could be Dynamics 365, which we will see later on, or also SharePoint, also SAP. And it's also possible to combine these. And here you see actually how the data integration works on the other hand. So this is like, we call it the heart of a Docs42 template, the data map designer. And this is where you actually connect to your data sources and put them into the document. And this is all done without any programming. And like I mentioned before, then you get the blue data fields on the right. It's also possible to color them in different colors now to give it more structure. And then you just simply drag and drop them into the document. So like Fabian said, it's very intuitive to do, and also business users can actually do it because it works with Word functionality or PowerPoint or Excel. And like I already mentioned, you can actually integrate all kinds of data sources and mix them also. So we will see Dynamics 365, but also you can have a document with SAP data, XML, JSON. Also custom data sources are possible. So there's really no limit with Docs42 how complex also your documents can be concerning the data structure. But we're actually here for you. So what would be interesting to us to also kind of know what we should demo to you. What technologies are you actually using right now, and what would you be interested in? And we have prepared a QR code here again. And so please, I would ask you to fill out the short survey, and then we can check the answers again.
Exactly. So we prepared, of course, a lot of for sales. But if there is now a little miracle or something else, then we will change our demo a little bit. So it depends on you now. If you select completely, if you go for finance operations or the business central or whatever, then we will change our demo schedule a little bit. So let's see what comes here.
Perfect. Yeah, of course. CE.
Power Automate is great. CE is good. So
yes,
but even we have
C, so a little bit in SharePoint also.
Also, that's also good. Power Apps also. Okay, great. So basically, we have to cover kindly everything.
Everything.
CE Power Automate definitely. BC, I don't know if we have that much time, but we will see it. And SharePoint and Power Apps, I guess, Norina, we will cover all of it, right?
Yeah. Right, and also I see DocuSign or digital document signing, so that's very cool. We also have an integration into all digital document signing tools, so that's cool.
Looks good, perfect.
Oh, looks good. Cool,
great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for participating.
I'll jump back. Okay. I'll just continue that way. Sorry, my toolbar is not going away, but we just have 2 more slides and then we'll jump into the live demo anyways. So also in terms of output, we're very flexible. So you can actually, of course, save the documents directly in Dynamics or email them, which we will see today. Also, you can publish them to Teams also. Like I mentioned, you can send them via DocuSign for digital signage. Or store them on Azure Blob. So we're really also flexible in terms of the output formats that are available. And the Docs42 server actually works on-premise, but also as a cloud installation, as a SaaS service. All right, but I think that's enough for the theory. Fabian's gonna take over now and actually jump into CE. And show you the sales quote automation and the sales proposal and also our PowerPoint Automate connector. Yeah, then I will take over and show you also a short Power Apps and SharePoint scenario.
Perfect. Thank you, Norina. That's the favorite part, the demo part. And yeah, we try to show you everything, but you know, we are limited a little bit on time and we would like to keep some space at the end to answer the questions as well. So, but let's jump directly into it. We will start, as I said, with a real-time, real-life customer scenario, more or less. So I have a lot of customers, even reference customers, they are doing exactly the quote generation as we will see it here in a second. Basically, I'm now in the Sales Hub here from CE. That's the scenario. I have a quote with the quote ID here. I have a customer that's Adventure CO. That's my customer's name, Michaela Mitarbeiter. It's a very German name. And this quote has to be sent to the customer. Basically, this the Solar Power Deluxe, that's the company. They are providing some products, of course, for solar panels and so on, and also the technical integration at the roof of the customers. So you can imagine that these documents, these kind of documents, they look a little bit different than just listed the 3 products here. And now I show you what I mean, because we have a SharePoint site, that's the sales order site, and we have some quote modules here. That means we have the folder with the same quote ID as we have seen. And within this quote ID, we have some documents and some Excel calculations and some PowerPoints, for example. So I opened them before, so we see them here. That's a PowerPoint presentation that has to be included into the document as text block, more or less. Then we have a Word document that could be the cover letter with some information about the sunshine and so on. Even this is a normal Word document, has to be included into the quote. Then we have a little advertisement with this carport here at the end of the document. And there is the Excel calculation. It's a very tiny calculation. We see it here. Installation 20 hours or preparation of the connection plan 12 hours. So this information also needs to be calculated and has to be included into the final document. So we have seen two different systems, SharePoint with text modules, and of course for sales, for generating or working as salesman with your customer. And what you can see here now is we have in the ribbon here with the ribbon workbench, we created one of our Docs42 output actions, some of our Docs42 output actions, and you see some of them here, return or save to SharePoint, create draft emails, send attach to entities. So there are a lot of output actions, but I will just start with one of it, return action. I would just want to see the document generated and be returned as PDF. Now I just have to log in one more time again, and then our cloud service is now generating this quote, and it is integrating all the information from SharePoint that we have seen, and also the information here from Dynamics. The template is a Word template. We will see this in a second. And it just returns the PDF in the browser. So I have it here, solar panels. And I just have generated it here. So let me quickly close this here. So you see, we have the information coming here from CE, and also the address from the customer, of course, is coming from the account entity from CE. So all the information CE, even the image here is from CE. Then we have seen here, we can see here, that's the Word document coming from SharePoint. And you even see here the orange color. We have it here as well in orange. And that's the reason why it's exactly taking this document and including it into the code. So let's jump back. Then we have a barcode here. We will see this. Then here, that's the product table. That's exactly these products here. Even the images, the entity images are coming from CE. And here also the information and the number and quantity. And there you can see my Excel. That's a service Excel, which is stored in SharePoint. It's exactly the same Excel with the 20 hours and the 12 hours. So you can really combine different sources, different calculations, or use Excel as calculation engine in the background. And then we have here the PowerPoint presentation. That's just the slides included, integrated into the document. And at the end, the other Word document, which with the carport here, just as a little advertisement at the end. So basically what we have seen now is we generated a document with Docs42 with our cloud service, and we integrated different data sources. And now I would like to show you how this template looks like, that you get a better understanding how you can easily create one of these Word templates. And as we are in the Microsoft ecosystem, in the full cloud scenario, we are using SharePoint Online to store the templates. And let me jump to our Dynamics side. It's the Dynamics 365 side. And you can see it here. We set 4 sales templates, but even we have our Business Central templates or Dynamics Finance Operations templates. So you can store all the templates in Microsoft, in SharePoint, for example, very easily. And let's jump to the 4 sales templates. And then you see here, it's a Word document. I just click here and open it in the app. Show you how it looks like. It's, I promise, a normal Word document. Now I just need the authentication as well with my user. So the data map will be downloaded automatically, and I authenticate it with myself. And now we are here. That's our template. And before I do something with the template, I show you the Docs42 add-in to connect to the data sources and to design. So you see here in the ribbon, a Docs42 add-in. And with the add-in, we have a very important thing, the data map designer, which Norino already said, it's kind of the heart of the document. So this is where the data structure happens, and where you define all your data and combine, for example. So when we make this a little bit larger, you see here are all the data sources. In our scenario, we are of course working with the Dynamics CE and Dataverse data source most of the time, but you see here also SharePoint data is included for the SharePoint modules. And you can combine as many data sources as you wish. So there's no limitation. You really can combine and you can filter them together. I quickly go deeper into one of it. So let's open the sales quote, for example. So we have the quote entity here, and then all the data fields are listed, even the custom data fields, and you can just select them via checkbox. Or you can say show selected only. Then you see here we have the custom ID, description, name, and so on. And you can also do the filtering here to get the correct parent and child relationships. And there's no limitation, so you can combine as many entities as you wish. I don't want to go too deep into it. That's the data map designing. This is, you do this once and then you're easily done. And after you have done everything correctly here, you just click on Insert Data Field, and then you have all your data sources here available in the Data Field Explorer. What you can do now is just drag and drop your data field into it, the data fields into the document. So let's take the customer ID, for example, and now I have the customer ID included. And I would say that here, this blue is the wrong corporate identity. We are working here with Solar Panels Deluxe in orange, so let's make it orange. So as you see, this data field, the name of the customer is now formatted as orange and just with normal work functionality. And what I would like to do now, I would like to generate here locally the document, because I can, for testing reasons, for example, I can just generate it locally. I click here on generate. It will be saved, and now I can select from a drop-down all my quotes. First, authentication one more time again, highly secured. Now you see the drop-down with all the quotes. I go for the solar panels, click generate, and the document will be generated locally. I will put it side by side afterwards. And then you can see what happened more or less. Great. So we expected, so let's put it side by side. So you see that's my template on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side we have the generated quote. We added the customer ID. Obviously it was formatted in red, so it was bold in red. Now let's see it here. We can promise it here. So if I go to my paragraphs here and say, you see this part is formatted as red, so that's the reason why we got it in red. But we changed the color here. We just highlighted it, and now you see Adventure CO. That's the customer name field is now orange, as so easily, no programming. Then we have this data field here, the name data field. If I just double tap, we will see it comes from SharePoint modules. And we define it as Word document. So Docs2 knows, that's a Word document, so it includes it as, and just, it includes it as a Word document. And the same thing here, we have the table with our products. It's basically one line. We have the repetition. So if you have 100 products, all the products are listed line by line. And then if I go further down, even the images coming from CE, you see it's entity image. It's exactly this one here. Coming from our sales quote product information, it's one of the entities, and you get the entity image defined as image. So we are really very strong when it comes to different types of documents or even images, barcodes, and so on. And this is the Excel file here. That's just listed the same. It's just one line, and here's the repetition mark, and then it repeats it for all the lines in the Excel. And then if we go further down a bit, we will see the presentation is exactly this data field. It's a PowerPoint coming from SharePoint as well. And the Word document at the end, same thing like the first Word document, just tell Docs2 it's a Word document. It includes it as the entire Word document like this. Good. Now we have done a little bit. I will close the document here that generated the locally generated document. And what I would like to do now is I would change the customer ID and make it as a barcode, because it looks not very well with the red color here. So I go here to my first customer ID field. I just double tap here, and then the customer, the Explorer is opening. I tell Docs2 this is a barcode. So, I go here and I have the very small resolution. I hope you can see it. That's the barcode. We have 40 barcodes out of the box, I guess. QR is nice. So let's say 40 is the dimension. Click OK. And now this field is defined as a barcode. You just have to believe it to me, because I will generate a document again from CE now. So you will see there is now a barcode. Let's close. I can even leave it open. So let's save it and leave it open, this template here. And what I would like to show you now is another scenario, very easy scenario, because it's a flow scenario. I have seen we are very interested in Power Automate. So then let's Power Automate do the work for us now. I added a flow here. When something from the entity is changed or edited, then please trigger the Docs42 custom connector and premium connector more or less and generate a new document. And please save the document to SharePoint. So let's do this. We have, for example, a discount here. I say I want to be very generous with 30%. And if I go here and say save, now the entity here, the quote entity is adapted. So the flow is triggered and it regenerates in the background now the document. So flow triggers our premium connector, Docs42 premium connector. It after that, the connector knows what to do and regenerates the document and saves it to a SharePoint list. Let's see if it's already there. So I jump to my SharePoint. If not, I will show you the connector first. So we have a specific Dynamics site here, and we have a sales quote library. And yeah, a few seconds ago, I assume that's it. So you see modified here, that's the quote solar panels Dataverse flow. We just renamed it a little bit that we know that's created by flow or by our custom connector. So let's open this one. We will open it, and what we can see here is basically we have it orange. We have the barcode already there because we changed this to a barcode. So I said, please believe it to me. And then hopefully Flow was very generous as well. So you see 30% discount. So that was the trigger for Flow. When I click save, Flow was triggered and regenerated the document and saved it automatically to my SharePoint library here. The good thing is also, if we go back here to the library, let's see, you see the quote ID, that's the quote ID from here, exactly from here. So also we can write the metadata here from the specific metadata fields. You can write in specific columns here in SharePoint. So even if you're working with DMSs or something, or you need to find your document, again, you see we have the quote ID also written into it. Good. So we have seen two scenarios. First scenario was just the return action. Then we have seen the document, the template designing, just have seen Word, how you can add something. You can add a barcode, just define it as a barcode. And we changed the color, for example. And now we regenerated the document with Power Automate. And I would like to show you, of course, how you can configure Power Automate quickly or easily. So let me jump here to my Power Automate connectors. So basically, as I promised, we have a premium connector. Let's search it quickly. You can see it here. Whenever you have a premium plan, the premium connector, of course, is for free. Then here you can see it. Basically, it's more or less a custom connector. So you can see them here. We have defined different custom connectors. I don't want to go too deep into it. You just need to set it up very quickly. We have a documentation, 1-page or 2-page, I guess, and then you have your custom connector configured. And after that, you're creating your flow. And I can show you this exact flow. So when a record is updated in Dynamics, please make this Docs42 service call. And this is exactly what happened. So we defined in the service call, this REST link is built quickly with 2 clicks or 3 clicks, more or less, with our server designer. So pretty easy, very well done. And then the Docs42 trigger knows what to do and generates your quote. And in our case, it just saves it to SharePoint and puts it there, and also writes the metadata. Good. So we have seen a lot now, but I have some more things, especially the PowerPoint will come in a second, but I have 2 actions that I would like to show you because it's my favorite. I used to tell you that I'm working in sales. So when you're working in sales, you also have to create quotes and you have to send the quotes to the customers. And now I would like to show you a MSG, a draft email action. So basically we are back to our quote scenario. And what I would like to show is this scenario. It's called, you see it here, create draft email with Docs42. So clicking on the button is generating an MSG file. So everything is done already. There's an MSG file and the quote is already attached. The text is already there, and I can just individualize the text a little bit that I will send to the customer. And that's a pretty nice function for people like me. You see it here. It's an MSG file, and it looks like this. You can really make this a little bit smaller and jump here a bit to this side. So we are sending it from Docs42 Online to Michaela. And Michaela is, you can see here, our customer already included. Then we have, of course, an object, a subject that we can define as we wish. You see the metadata already is in the email text included. Even the quote number is included because that's a Word template as well. So we can define the email text also and design it also with Word and with Docs42. And the most important thing, the quote, of course, is attached. So let's open the quote. And we are expecting in this quote, of course, orange colors, like here, a barcode. So you see it here. And the most important thing, we are expecting the 30% discount. So that's the point. I have really just made just created the MSG file, and then I tell her, yeah, you are so nice or something. You're so nice. And I really can individualize my text and send the quote directly to Michaela then. That's, in my opinion, a very nice feature as well. So that I wanted to show you. And then I have a last feature, which is very interesting because our Fraser Yards as well, we have seen our reference customer, they are doing something very similar with kind of the pop-up module here. So we have pop-up, so you can click here, and that's designed. So either it's a model-driven app, which is included here. And either you have the options that we have seen here with the drop-down and with Ribbon Workbench, or you use our pop-up. And the pop-up can be designed as you wish, with HTML as you need. So we have different drop-downs. You can say English, and we see, okay, you have different templates that you need, because the Fraser Yards also, they need some different templates for different customers or something, and you can really define what you need here. And then I said generate sales quote, SPF, for example. You could even define the output format, different output formats as you wish. And then you can add checkboxes, for example, and it will be attached somewhere. So there's so many possibilities to create your own service, Docs42 service call within our pop-up window. And that's why I wanted to show it at the end. That's a very nice feature as well, to create your documents as you wish and to build your own documents within a CE as well. And then clicking OK is just generating, in this case, the quote one more time again, and just as a return action. But of course, you can define any output action that you wish also with the pop-up. You see it, it's 9th time already. So we did a lot of code so far. Here, same code, same thing, same scenario, but another output with the pop-up window, which can be designed with HTML as you wish. Good. Then I have just one more scenario because it's coming up more and more. So people would like to automate PowerPoint. So they want to generate their PowerPoints. Even PowerPoints are recurring documents most of the time when it comes to sales or even project progress or something. So you can generate PowerPoints with Docs42 as well. And I would like to show it to you here in the CE scenario, in the, here, how to say, opportunities. So we included a proposal, a sales proposal as PowerPoint. So let me jump to my opportunities here. I just refresh it because I had it open a long time. See what happens. That's a opportunity, one specific, of course, the solar panels proposal. So you might have seen it before. We have there, of course, the current situation. That's some blah, blah, blah. Then the customer need, of course, blah, blah, blah. And what's the proposed solution? Completely up to you. But this is complete normal standard CE. And of course, here as well, customer and the Michaela Mitarbeiter. And what we also have, of course, modules for our PowerPoints. So let's jump to SharePoint. We are here in the sales orders, and as we had before the folder for the quote, we have a folder, of course, for the proposals. It's the proposal modules. You can see them here. And the proposal modules, in this case, the solar panels proposal, has just a PowerPoint, the same one that we have seen before with the connection plan. Then we have sunshine in Fürth, so just the diagrams here. That's one of it. Then solar tech. That's Yeah, that's solid text. So this module that's as an image has to be included in the proposal, which is stored in SharePoint. And for example, here, this little, this PowerPoint. Same thing, but a little bit different. I go back to my opportunity. And what I would like to do now is I would like to send Michaela, my customer Michaela, the proposal right away. So I go to send, we have our button here. I go to send email. And what's happening now? Docs42 service always is authentication is working with Azure Active Directory. So my user, in the name of my user, the document will be generated now. And in this case, the template also is stored in SharePoint. And what happened now is it was generated and sent directly to our customer Michaela Mitarbeiter. And the good thing is Michaela Mitarbeiter is a very good friend for me. So I have her email account here in my email account. You see it here. And now it's supposed to be there. That's the proposal from before. And now it's, this is the correct time. So you see it here. We got the email directly. Attached is the proposal, the PowerPoint proposal, and it's the same thing. This Word document, the Word document that can be designed with the metadata. And here is our proposal for Michaela. So let's open the PowerPoint. You can see, of course, the parts like here, the images coming from SharePoint, then the other information coming from Dynamics. Here are some reference customers coming from Dynamics, and that's the part with the current situation, the need, the proposed solution. So you see here, these images are coming from SharePoint, so you can combine the same data structures and data sources in PowerPoint as well. It's the same way to design your templates. It's just PowerPoint. You have the add-in here included. And this is how you can define your templates. And you see here, we even connected to different entities. So that's the quote entity, and you see the 30%. So it's taking the data live from the system in the moment you're generating the document. And there are the products listed here. So yeah, same with the 30%. So there are a lot of possibilities to make your life very, very easy, and creating one of the templates one time and then really generate it all the time automatically. Well, we've seen quite a lot, but not enough. There are definitely other parts, and we have plenty of time left. So I'm very happy to hand over to Norina. She will show you another scenario with Power Apps, as it was very interested for you in the poll, in the survey that we did. And yeah, it's another very nice scenario. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. So many possibilities now with CE. So very cool. And yeah, next to the Power Automate connector, we also have an integration into Power Apps. And we will actually do a HR example now. And I would need your help again. We need to hire somebody at Docs42. And you can tell me who to hire. So I need one name, please. Last time at the conference, we hired James Bond. So you can also be creative. Just write it in the chat. And if nobody writes anything, I will pick one randomly. But yeah, Natalia Toledo. Perfect. So
Jack Reacher also.
Jack Reacher, also very nice. I'll do the first one. And I will share my screen again. So you should see my Power App right now. This is our Power App to hire new employees. This, of course, would also work on your smartphone. But now for demonstration, we'll show it on the desktop. So here I can create a new item. So we said Natalia Toledo. I will actually use my email address now. Natalia, I hope that's okay for you. So it's easier to show. But of course, you could also use the real address here. And we will see the position. You can actually choose to be a developer, a sales manager, or a trainee. I would say we hire you as a developer, if that's all right. And the special agreement, we could say free holidays forever, for example. So we can also put data here and it will be actually included. And we can also say, okay, I want to make this bold, also underlined, whatever you prefer. All right, and the salary, and that was actually it. When I now click on OK, in the background, a flow will be triggered that actually sends you, or in this case, me, an email right away that actually contains the contract already. So we will check my email now. And of course, also Michaela, who is responsible for our HR management, she will also get this as a copy. And what it does, Docs42 is pulling the template from SharePoint in this case and filling the template with all the data I just entered in my Power App, and is attaching this to the email that is also sent to the email address I just added. It might take a second, but here it is already. So when we look at the email, your name is filled out, and you're a developer at Docs42. And yeah, here is also some pictures again. And of course, the most important thing, the contract is attached. And when we open it up, we see, okay, this is for Natalia, perfect. And it's confidential. And you see here your salary that was inserted. And we also have here, again, based on conditions, we have actually some information that you will get a laptop because you're a developer, you need a laptop. And also at the end here, your free holidays forever as your special agreement. And at the end, we also have a whole Word document actually included. Okay, and now when you, for example, want to collaborate also with your team, as many of you mentioned, you're using Teams. So I'll just quickly show you how the integration would look like in Teams. Of course, we have a team here for HR, and you can post here. And we also included our employee contracts list, and we will see, Natalia is already here with all the information I entered in the Power Apps. And I can actually now send this already via DocuSign also. So I can say, okay, that was a great contract, and I want her to sign it right away. And I don't want her to print it, but I want her to sign it via DocuSign. So I can do that here already directly in Teams. So that makes it really easy and intuitive again for the user. And then again, it's pulling the template from SharePoint and filling in all the data. And we will actually receive, Fabian's user is used in the back, but I just send it. So we can review this, and like always with DocuSign, it's just standard DocuSign functionality, but you can, of course, also use Adobe Sign, for example, and then you go down here and you can actually sign the document. Yeah, and that's another scenario for Docs42 in a very different aspect, in the HR aspect. And that just shows that the possibilities are actually very unlimited almost. So you can really use Docs42 in any scenario and any document you might have. And if you're interested, we're kind of out of time, but if you're interested in integrations in BC, we also have that and FO. So we can always show that to you. If you contact us, we will show you a personal demo. And you can actually also try it yourself with our trial licenses.
Exactly.
Yeah. That
exactly.
was it.
So we see that the Microsoft ecosystem is growing more and more together with Power Platform, with the different systems. Basically, when you have a BC online user for 49 euros, then you can have a 59 euros. You can have for 15 euros more your CE user for sales. So that's the reason why the companies are using all the Dynamics platform and the Dynamics tools more or less. And with Docs for 2, you can combine all the platforms, and that's very powerful and flexible. And as Norina said, in BC, we also have scenarios where we integrate the different data sources, SharePoint, CE, and of course, Business Central data. But as the time is running out, I would just say we do a little wrap up, just to give you a quick overview about what we have seen, and of course, the most important things about Docs for 2, why to use Docs for 2. And then we reserved some space for questions, and also, of course, we have the barcode as for the Lego set one more time again, that can you scan it and play the little Microsoft forms as well. So let me quickly do the wrap up. So we have seen now a lot of scenarios. As Norina mentioned, we can do a ton of scenarios as well. But the most important thing is we are talking about high quality documents. The documents are designed in Microsoft Office, and that enables every business user to create very good looking, complex documents automatically. And you see the little Lego block on the right-hand side with the flexibility. That's the reason why we always do the raffle with Lego. We are so flexible in the integration, in the output, input, output, completely flexible, and that's more or less our philosophy. And yeah, as we are just here in the Microsoft ecosystem, of course, we are reacting on every Microsoft trend, playing with all the new functions, all the new versions. And when you fill the form later on with for the Lego, that's a Microsoft form. It makes a SharePoint list, and it puts your name on the SharePoint list, and you get automatically a confirmation email. And that's also, of course, created with Docs for 2 and Flow. So we are also working with the same tools that Microsoft is providing us. And we have also a ton of scenarios using Docs for 2 and the Microsoft systems with. And the most important thing is the time saver, of course. So I don't have to tell you about time saving. If you save time, you save money, and you save nerves at the end, not creating your recurring documents all the time manually, which a lot of companies still doing. So just keep that in mind. You can really automate nearly 100% to your documents. Sometimes it's even better if you automate 80% of your document instead of creating all the documents or all your documents manually. Good. So I don't know. I have seen a lot of questions in the chat, but I guess Norina already answered some of them, which is great. Is there anything open so far? I don't know. I don't have the overview at the moment to the chat.
We just had someone asking, Bala, thank you. Can we use some logic conditions when we design the template? For example, hide, show based on values. And I already answered it quickly, but yes, the answer is yes. You can definitely do that. Like I also showed in the example with the contract, based on what position you actually choose, so developer, sales manager, trainee, you will have different benefits showed also in the document then. So you will once have, you get a laptop, you will once have for the trainee, for example, you won't be showing that. So that is definitely possible. And some of our customers really create complex documents with Docs 42.
Exactly, and also you can add the conditions around text block, predefined text block, or even around your blue data fields, or they could be colorful as well. So you can really decide what has to be conditional formatted or something, or integrated based on a condition. So you can really add as many conditions as you wish. And also, let me quickly show if I still have open my template. Yeah, I have it open. So you see, there is one condition. Okay, here's a condition, I guess. So let's open this one. I hope it still works. My template here, that was so. And let me open it. The word is a little bit annoying at the moment, but here. That's the condition. In this case, it's not a condition around, but you can see that's the condition. You can go with automate range, and you can add your conditions here as you wish. just with data fields. You can add the data fields from your data map. If the name is, I don't know, great smaller than something else, so you can add really your texts here, and then you can combine your conditions as well. So you can say and something else, blah blah blah. So completely up to you what you would like to add here, and then the condition is added. And this could be around text like this, or around your data fields like here, for example.
And maybe going back to one of the questions somebody had in the beginning, this is also where you define repetitions. So you can also repeat these things for more than one data set. So
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, let's open this one here. That's exactly the repetition for all the products in our product entity. So we said repeat for data source. This is the data source for all the products. So we just called it like this. And then we have just one line more or less here, and all the products will be listed. So it is completely, you have dynamic tables, conditions, and conditional formatting as well. So sometimes you would like to have a green color if some value is over 0, then you want to have it green, and you can do it really with the conditions, no worries. Especially in the financial industry, it's very well seen. Great. I see 3 minutes left before we just lose too much time, because I guess you all were very focused, and that brings me to our slide one more time again. You can now just scan the barcode one more time to play with and to win the quiz. It's a very nice helmet here.
And
Good
now
luck.
it will be very easy to answer the questions.
Exactly, because we are very strict. If something is wrong, we cannot we cannot select you as a winner. So perfect. Then we wish you good luck, more or less. And one more slide, I guess we have left. It's I hope everyone has it already. If no, then I'll leave it like 10 seconds. And then we go to the last slide. It's more or less our contact details. If you have a scenario or something, if you want to see it in Business Central also on, then just you can directly contact us here with our LinkedIn or even with our email, whatever you want. And then we can have a customized demo for you, or just discuss your scenarios.
And thank you very much for the active participation and the questions.
Exactly.
It's very fun when people are actually involved in the session. So thank you a lot for that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Narina. Thank you, Fabian, once again for joining us, supporting the event. Excellent. And as you rightly mentioned, Narina, there is a Business Central bootcamp happening in September. For those people looking to learn Business Central or who have implemented Business Central and want to learn more about Business Central, you can also see how Docs42 actually works with Business Central as well in September. So once again, huge thank you to Narina and Fabian joining us from the beautiful Vienna, and we hope to see you very soon.
Thank you so much for having us, and have a nice time. Have a nice conference. All the best.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Always a great pleasure to have Narina and Fabian join us.